When I asked you if you had a dream, this happens in high schools and junior highs. When I asked you if you had a dream, you raised your hand, but you did it slow. Because you know what little kids don't know. You know life is pain. And you know that not everybody gets their dream. And what I just said there, listen to me. What I just said, that sentence right there is the saddest thing I'm going to say today. When I said, not everybody gets their dream. Because this is what I know about you. I think we waste so much money in our country trying to warn you how bad drugs are. When in third grade, you figured out the drugs are bad for you. This is what I think. I think if I can get you reaching for the top shelf, you won't reach for the bottom shelf. If I can get you thinking that you can do anything with your life and you can dream and you can make a difference in this world, you won't reach for the bottom shelf. Because the bottom shelf, we know is stupid. But we spend all kinds of money trying to show you how bad the bottom shelf is. But really, we need to put our money into helping you get to your dream. Because when you get to your dream, you're happy. People are happy when they're living their dream. How many of you have got somebody in your life right now that you love very much, and they're not living their dream right now, and it's hard to watch them live their life? Yeah. You know why? Because you know they're better than that. You know they're better than that. I've got, you know what, I messed up today. I took the wrong bag with me. So I ended up, I have a bag of shoes that I carry everywhere I go, and it's really weird not having them here because I take them everywhere I go. But last night when I came in, I was late, and anyway, so I just took the wrong bag. But I do have a couple shoes. But I want to tell you some stories today. I keep the shoes of kids, and I know that sounds really creepy that I have a bag of like teenager shoes. Like that sounds, when you first think about that, I was like, that's creepy. I can tell you something funny that happened to me in Florida last year. This girl walks up and she saw my bag of shoes, and she goes, there's a high school girl, and she goes, ew, why do you have a bag of other people's shoes? Just like that. And so I was kind of in a grumpy mood, so I grabbed one of the shoes and I went, because I smell them when I'm lonely. And she ran out of the gym. I keep the bag of shoes because, actually it was in Nebraska a couple years ago. I was at a church thing in Kearney, and there was a guy talking about his hero. And it was this old dude, and he got up and he had the shoe of this older dude. And I was like, but the guy had died, you know. Anyway, so he had his shoe, and in my head I'm thinking, he stole the dead guy's shoe? Like that's pretty creepy. But he's up there talking, and he's talking about how this guy was his hero, and how he made a difference in his life, and so he had his shoe, and where the shoe had gone, and if you knew this guy, and he had a story, and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm sitting there thinking, who's my heroes? And I've got heroes. I've got sports heroes and different heroes. You know, people that individually made a difference in my life. But I started thinking about you. I started thinking about teenagers across this country that do some amazing things. I'm not talking about like doing amazing things like, you know, swimming, you know, crazy, you know, all that stuff. I'm thinking about like just getting up in the morning and trying to get to your dream when life gets really hard. You guys are my heroes. So I started collecting shoes of kids that have had tough lives. And I don't have their shoes with me today because I took the wrong bag. But pretend this is Christina's shoe, because I usually carry her shoe with me. And Christina was a girl I met in Bixby, Oklahoma 2 years ago. She comes up to me. First of all, she comes up, she's got this little cheerleader outfit on with the ribbons in the hair and all that. She walks down. You know, some people are just born to be cheerleaders. You know what I'm saying? They come out of the womb, they're like, go doctor, go doctor. You know, just like, she comes down and she's like, do you want to know what my label is? And I was going to go, perky? I don't know. And all of a sudden, the smile left her face, and she got real serious, and she goes, everybody in the school calls me a slut. And that's the last time I'm going to say that word today, because I hate that word. She said that. She goes, that's what they call me. I said, why do they call you that? And she looked right at me, and she goes, I'm not going to tell you. She goes, I don't want to cry in front of these people. She goes, I'll email you tonight. So I got an email that night. And I'm sitting in my hotel room in Bixby, Oklahoma, and I'm reading this email, and I can't even describe it. Like, I can't, actually. I'm not going to. But just trust me when I tell you that it was awful. Like, what this girl had gone through was awful. Awful, awful, awful. So the next night, this never happens, but I got to see her again. This never happens. I usually go to the next town, I'm done, blah, blah, but I was in that town for a couple of days. The football coach called me and asked me if I would come give them their football team a little speech because they were going to state that week. And so I get to this guy's house, barbecue. The whole football team's there. She's there. She's a cheerleader. So she walks up to me and she goes, did you read my email? And I said, yeah. This isn't the shoe, but she handed me her shoe. On the side of that shoe, if it was here right now, she wrote, looking for love in all the wrong places. And if I had a superpower, this is what it would be. I'd go find those kids that are calling her that name and listen to me. Look at me. I wouldn't yell at them because I'm not mad at them. I understand why they're doing that. I would just help them grow up a little bit. Because can I just tell you this? You're so much better when you're not judging people. You're such a better person on the inside when you're not judging people. I'm concerned about that too. I want you not to judge people because it's good for you. So this is what I would do. I take the shoe, put it on your foot, let you experience her worst day for 30 minutes. Like you get to be her. I'm not saying you're going to read a book about it, you're going to watch a video. You're actually going to be her. And you're going to experience this girl's worst day. And I'm going to make you a bet. You won't come back to school and call her that name. There's no way. You couldn't. If I had that superpower, I wouldn't speak here. I wouldn't. I'd just get here during your breaks. And when you guys are walking around, I'd start swapping your shoes out. You'd be like, oh! You'd be like, who's the creepy white guy touching our feet? But I would do it all day long. I wouldn't. I'd find the people in this room that act like everything's fine. They put on a good show. They get that little stage face on. But really, life gets really difficult for them. Like this one kid, I'll never forget him. Man, I wish I had a shoe. But he comes walking up to me. This kid is huge. I'm not kidding you. You see his shoe, it's like a boat. Like you could put a motor on the back of it. And like it's huge. And he's like 6'5" in 8th grade. I'm like, don't eat me. It was in Iowa. This kid was awesome. He walks up, he's all happy. And he's like, comes up, he's like, And then all of a sudden, he like gets sad. And he goes, hey, first he's like, I want to play football. That's my dream. I'm like, cool. And then all of a sudden, he like starts to cry. He goes, I quit the football team. I'm like, what? I thought that was your dream. He goes, it is. I go, why'd you quit? He goes, you're the second person who's going to know the truth. He goes, my coach knows, now you're going to know. He goes, I can't walk down the hallway of the school without being called gay, weak, fag, whatever. They think he quit because he doesn't want to play anymore. He goes, that's not true, I'll be back. I go, why'd you quit? He goes, because my mom's an alcoholic and I don't want anybody to know. My mom's an alcoholic and I don't want anyone to know. So he goes and lets everybody believe that he quit because he doesn't want to play, when really, he's protecting his mom. What an unbelievable kid. He goes, every day I go home, I gotta feed the animals that live on the farm, because I gotta take care of this, take care of that. He goes, I'm like the adult in my family. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is what I said to him. I said, listen to me. I said, dude, you gotta get back and play football. Not for the football team's sake, but for your sake. You gotta get to your dream because you gotta get out of this town. You gotta get on with your dream. And this is what he said to me. He goes, Mike, I would, because the real reason I quit the football team was because my stepdad gets home before I do on my practice and he beats up my mom. He goes, he won't touch her if I'm there. I'm like, I believe you. If I had that whole football team in front of me, this is what I would say to them. I'd say, boys, listen, here's the deal. You think, I'm gonna help you grow up today. Football team, I'm gonna help you grow up because you think being tough is going out and hitting someone on a football field. That's that much of it. Tough is up here. Tough is having to go home and deal with stuff beyond your maturity level and then come to school and try to do something with your life. That's tough. If you had to go home and fight that 32-year-old crackhead, I'm going to tell you right now, you wouldn't come back to school tomorrow and call that kid a name. Yeah, you probably would call him a name. This is the name I gave him. I gave him a name. The name was incredible. The name was amazing. Because the kid's amazing. The kid's amazing. And you know what? Even in this room, look at some of your faces, and some of you are amazing. You're incredible kids. And it's not because you're going to get your name up on some life because you're academic so-and-so or you're doing this, you're doing that. It's because you got up this morning and you came to something like this and you're trying to do something with your life. And life can be tough sometimes. Raise your hand if life can be tough sometimes. And here you are trying to do something with your life. I am very proud of you. I am very proud of you. Very proud of you.